Good morning, everybody. Ciaccio here. Had a great weekend. Hope you guys had a great weekend as well. Today I'm going to go over probably about maybe 15 different topics that agents call the office and they get kind of stumped on. They're kind of unsure. Everything we're going to talk about today is in the back office. If you don't have access to the back office, get a hold of Jay or Heather today. They'll give you the agent login so you have all the information about everything we're going to speak about today, plus other items. So, with that said, let's get going. Let me see here. Agent called me last week and said, Joe, I've got a client who is confined to a wheelchair. Where can I put her at? So I said, well, give me some more information. Is she confined? Can she not walk? Did something just happen? He asked the client. She said, oh no, I had knee surgery a couple months ago. That's why I'm in a wheelchair. Case in point, if they're confined to a wheelchair and they cannot walk for whatever reason, not for something temporary, hip surgery, back surgery, knee surgery, some type of leg, and they're in it temporarily, they're okay to get immediate benefits. Yet if they got paralyzed, or they had a stroke, or they are in a car accident and they cannot walk, they've got to be in the wheelchair all the time, that is the definition of confined to a wheelchair. Another agent called and said, Joe, I've got a client who's in great health, doesn't do any medications, but when everybody hears the word but, you know something negative is going to follow. She's on an oxygen machine, but she only uses it as needed. Oxygen tanks in the house constitute they use oxygen. If something happens to them in the first 2 years, they get their medical records, and they see that a company was delivering, whether they use it or not, oxygen, it's going to be kicked back to rescind. They may give them their money back, and you're going to get a charge back. They're going to give the money back, you're going to get a charge back. So you need to know oxygen, doesn't matter whether it's full-time, part-time, or only at nighttime. The only carriers that will accept oxygen that is hooked up to a CPAP machine to use while sleeping is Foresters and Prosperity. The only two carriers that I'm aware of who will give your client immediate benefits with the use of oxygen, provided it's hooked up to a CPAP machine. CPAP machines are normally hooked up to just air. Air blows into your mouth or your nose to help you not have apnea attacks, and that's okay by any carrier. Any carrier says you got CPAP with air only, we got no problem, we'll take you. Now, my recommendation is take out a pen and paper, write this stuff down. It's in the back end, but yet this is going to kind of give you a bundled down way of remembering these items here. Somebody tells you they got COPD, they got Parkinson's, they have emphysema, they got chronic bronchitis. Most carriers say you're going to get a graded or modified. Yet, we've got Transamerica that will accept your client, CVS, and Liberty will all accept your client on a standard immediate. You got standard, then you got preferred. So they're one notch below preferred, yet they're going to get a standard rate, and it's immediate. Now, if your client is a smoker, Liberty Banker says, no. If you're a non-smoker, Liberty Banker says yes. If you're a smoker, they're going to knock your client down to a modified. Heart issues. Heart issues prior to a year, guaranteed, modified, you're not going to get immediate benefits. If you have a client of yours who had a heart attack, stroke, angina, pacemaker, anything having to do with the heart, anything with the heart, if it's over a year, in less than 2 years, okay, you can go with the American Eagle, you can go with CVS, and you can also go with Transamerica's immediate standard as well as CVS. Any client that's had a heart attack over 2 years, any heart issues over 2 years, can go with any carrier except AMAM, which has a 3-year look back. Nitro pills, nitro patches, anything having to do with nitro. Transamerica says we'll take your client if they got first prescribed between a year and 2 years. It's the standard immediate. If it's over 2 years, they say we've got no problem with you, we'll take you immediate preferred. AM over 3 years, they have no problem with that. American Memorial over 2 years, they have no problem with that. You go to a client's house and they're a little bit overweight. You may feel a little funny to ask the lady, ma'am, how much do you weigh? You don't have to ask those questions. You can go with Royal Neighbors or CVS. They have no height weight chart. Rest of the other carriers do have height weight charts, yet they're very lean. I'm going to kind of parlay now to height weight charts and term. Term height weight charts are more strict than your simplified issue. Agent called me, said, Joe, I wrote a person up, perfect health, age, everything was perfect, their height and weight was perfect. Yet what he was thinking about is simplified issue height weight. When you go to term or you go to a UL, whether the term or UL is non-med, their height weight restrictions are a lot more strict. So make sure you have that stuff. It's in the back office. You got a client that has neuropathy. Most carriers will accept you. Americo says we'll take you, AMAM will take you, Royal Neighbors will take you, CVS, Transamerica. Foresters will take you. When you combine that with diabetes, either a pill or a shot, with neuropathy, which is nerve pain, best one to go with is Royal Neighbors. Royal Neighbors says, Joe, we're priced for that. We'll take all the business when you have a combination of neuropathy, insulin, or pill. Now let's continue with diabetics. Diabetes is a shot. We're talking about just the shot. I don't know whether it's type 1 or type 2. I've heard all these different things here. I just say, ma'am, you take a pill or you take a shot. Easiest way to do it. If you have a client that has a pill, any client, any carrier, except one question. Mutual says, we'll accept your client, Joe, no matter how they are, provided they started the pill or diagnosed after age 50. So Mutual says if you got a person on a pill, started before 50, it'd be a great. All the other carriers says we'll take them. When it comes to the insulin shot, Royal Neighbors will take you if you started it over the age of 30. Liberty Bankers is 25 years old. American Animal says we'll take you as long as you started it after age 50. Let's go into cancer. Whenever you ask the question cancer, have you had cancer in the last 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years? What the carrier is telling you, when was your last treatment for cancer? So let's say they had it a year and a half ago. They waited about 6 weeks. They started to go through the treatments, whether it's chemo, no matter whether it's radiation. If those stopped less than a year ago, less than 2 years ago, can't have it. Everything, treatment, everything has got to be over 2 years to qualify for the following carriers. You got Royal Neighbors, you got the Miracle Eagle, you got AMAM, you got CVS, and you got Liberty Bankers. Other carriers, such as Foresters, is 3 years. Mutual Omaha and Trans is 4 years. So these are the reasons why you should have all this stuff printed out. So if you let's say you say, Joe, my favorite company is Foresters, and they had a heart attack or they had cancer, more than 2 years ago, but they had treatment after the 2 year period, okay? But they got to be over 3 years to get Foresters. Foresters is your favorite company and they had it earlier, you got to pick a different company. If you have a client that smokes cigarettes, okay, every carrier that's considered a smoker. If you have a client that smokes cigars, pipe, dip, chew, and they do not do cigarettes at all, Prosperity will give you a non-smoker rate. If you have a client who smokes cigarettes, does cigars, chew, you've got to put them with a Miracle Eagle. There's a 3 year period where they'll lock them in at a non-smoker rate. At the end of the 3 year period, price goes up or benefit goes down. A lot of agents are taking advantage of the non-smoker rate because it's very good. If you have a client who smokes cigars, the question is here, is cigars less than 24 cigars per year, Mutual Omaha, American Amicable is an occasional cigar, Life Shield, an occasional cigar, will give your client a non-smoker rate. Bipolar, people that are schizophrenic, people that got some type of misfiring irons up top going on. The things just aren't doing well for them. They're on medication. It's not a good fit for Mutual Omaha. Liberty Banker says they'll take you. Royal Neighbors, AM, and the Eagle are the 4 I have listed. They will take your client if they're on any type of bipolar, if they're schizophrenic, or there's something going on in their brain and those things are misfiring. Lupus, got a lot of, I don't know why, it kind of comes in stages with lupus. Lupus will be taken by American Eagle, Transamerica, CVS Standard, and Liberty Bankers Standard. Now, whenever you start talking about these things here and you want to go with Transamerica, Trans says if your client had a heart attack between a year and 2 years, you're going to get a standard immediate. Yet you throw in there that they have something else within those list of questions. Now they're going to be bumped from immediate standard, they're going to be bumped to a graded. So you want to go with a carrier that allows you to answer more than one yes on the standard side. Liberty Banker says, Joe, if your client has lupus, he started insulin before the age of 25 and provided after the age of 9 when he was young, we'll take that client if they answer yes to lupus, peripheral artery disease, they got Parkinson's, they got emphysema, they're priced for it, they're going to take your client with immediate benefits. Transamerica says only one yes in that category to get that. CVS and Liberty are more lenient because they're priced that way. Agent calling last week says, Joe, why is the standard rate so much higher? I can give the client a graded or a guaranteed issue. You put the client with who you feel comfortable with. Personally, if I went into a house and I saw a client who has a guaranteed issue that they got, let's say 6 months ago, 8 months ago, and they're paying for a program that grows to get the full benefit in 2 years, I will ask them, I said, do you want to have full benefits now if something happens? Or do you want to wait another 16, 18 months before your son Anthony, your daughter Marie get this $10,000? They're going to say, well, I'd rather have it now. Say, well, I've got a carrier that will give it to you, yet there's a premium you got to pay to get a better program. I can qualify you for a program based on the problems you have, and it's going to cost you, let's say the premiums are going to be $3 a month more. To give them a guaranteed to an immediate standard, $3 a month more. You're going to sit and say, I can get you the same $10,000, and it's only going to cost you a dime a day more to get you immediate benefits. So if something happens to you, God forbid, next month, Anthony and Marie are going to get the full $10,000. Can't give you 100% guarantee, but I'm going to give you a 99% guarantee that client's going to leave your guaranteed issue to come to me. Pitch it. If they don't want it, pull the hat out of your hat trick. Pull your hat out of the hat. Pull your rabbit out of the hat trick, and then give them the guaranteed issue. Most people are going to want a guaranteed issue because it's guaranteed issue. Don't go into all this detail, but if you can't afford that one, I've got one that's got a 2-year waiting period, because you probably will make the sale if premium is a factor. Yet if I was you, I'd come from $10,000 to $9,000, or if they want one for $7,500, come down to $7,000 to get them something that fits into their budget with immediate benefits. Okay, we see who else I got to go over here. Nitro pill, the height, weight, talk about the heart, the COPD, the lupus, the bipolar, the CPAP. Okay, let's talk about guaranteed issue. Guaranteed issue is for a client who had anything with a heart less than a year ago. Cancer, anything less than 2 years ago, unless it's something topical, like basal cell, that's not considered internal cancer, that's on the top, and they'll say we'll take you even if you had something done last week. Oxygen is guaranteed issue no matter how they use it. Confined to a wheelchair. HIV, AIDS. They're paralyzed. They have a stroke, half their body's paralyzed. Those are the items that you're going to get the guaranteed issue clients for. Remember, you represent many different companies. You have a manager, you've got me, you've got Heather, you've got Jay. There's a form that you can fill out to submit to send to us. We can review it and get back to you. Or if you're in the house with a client and you're kind of unsure who to put them with, call us. Let us help you make more sales. These calls are very important. The calls all go straight to YouTube. If you didn't catch everything I said, go to YouTube and cross-reference it with the back office. You need access, get a hold of Jay or Heather, and we'll get you hooked up. Fantastic. Thursday, I'm going to have Darren Sleva from American Amicable on the phone going over their term product again. We've gotten a lot of traction on it. Minimum is $25,000. EAP. Very, very simple underwriting. Very, very nice. Be on the call to go over and listen to their term products. And he's going to open it up for anybody who has any questions. So with that said, guys, make it a great day. Be safe. Drive careful. We love you. If you need anything, give us a call. Hit them hard today. Bye.